Poland's Warmian-Masurian region is defined by its pristine environment. We're talking about expansive, sunlit lakes and dense, undisturbed green forests. Underneath that natural canopy lies a dense layer of complex 300-year-old history scattered across remote villages and rural trails. If you look up a standard travel guide for the area, it will compile modern water parks and isolated ruins into a single, chaotic top 20 list. To build a working itinerary, we divide the region's offerings. On the left, Ełk City Recreation, a high-convenience zone with paved promenades and modern amenities. On the right, the Ostrykół Heritage Trail, defined by rural isolation and remote wooden churches. Trying to fit these two radically different environments into a single weekend trip is the fastest way to exhaust your family and ruin your vacation. Let's look at the urban center of Ełk. The infrastructure here is highly developed, built around a 6-kilometer paved promenade along Lake Ełk and a 19-meter steel observation tower. The primary appeal here is low friction. You get immediate access to nature, but you are never more than a few minutes away from reliable dining and modern facilities. Even the outdoor activities are highly managed. The Ełk River kayaking routes are designed for casual tourists rather than hardcore survivalists. Cultural touchstones exist within the city limits, but they are easy to digest. John Paul II Square offers a central, paved gathering point with historical markers and a monument right by the river. The square serves as an accessible tribute to the former pope, a figure of immense cultural significance for Polish residents, commemorating his visit in 1999. The trade-off of the city loop is straightforward. You are guaranteed panoramic views and constant entertainment, but you sacrifice deep cultural immersion. Ełk City is engineered for the active weekender. It delivers scenery and comfort, but it is not built for the heritage explorer seeking raw discovery. When evaluating travel options in geographically spread-out regions, you have to calculate your effort-to-impact ratio. This chart maps out our evaluation framework. We are plotting the logistical effort of reaching a site on the horizontal axis against its cultural and historical depth on the vertical axis. The Ełk Promenade and Water Park land in the bottom left, requiring little effort but offering low historical depth. Compare that to the 17th century village of Ostrykół. It sits in the top right quadrant. High logistical effort, but incredibly high historical depth. Vacation time is a traveler's most valuable currency. You have to consciously choose which of these quadrants you are willing to spend it in. If you head south into the Picturesque commune, the physical environment shifts. You leave the comfortable city infrastructure behind and enter deep rural Masuria. The friction of the journey increases immediately. You are navigating rougher, less developed transit routes and unpaved dirt trails flanked by dense overgrowth. The historical anchor at the end of this difficult route is the exaltation of the Holy Cross wooden church in Ostrykół, built in 1667. The structure survived the brutal Tatar invasions of the 17th century and transitioned from a long-standing Protestant community into a Catholic parish following the border shifts of World War II. These remote ruins haven't survived by accident. Their preservation is the result of rigorous, codified institutional effort by the Ostrykół municipality. Local authorities actively maintain this rural heritage against the elements, guided by official frameworks like the Ostrykół County Monument Care Program. This municipal document categorizes the cultural landscape, outlining the legal protection of these resources in sections 5.2 and 5.3, turning forgotten villages into protected zones. The reality of visiting these protected sites is harsh. The infrastructure is virtually non-existent, meaning you must conduct your own research and exercise a lot of patience. This level of isolation makes the Przesycki Heritage Trail entirely unsuitable for impatient children or travelers looking for a casual afternoon stroll. The Przesycki Trail strictly rewards those willing to endure logistical friction, offering unpolished historical authenticity that you cannot find in the city center. The Ełk region does not force you to compromise on quality, as long as you honestly define your travel goals before you leave home. This flowchart maps a scenario framework, starting with one central question: what is your travel goal? For effortless family recreation, it directs you to the Ełk City Promenade. For deep heritage, follow the right branch to the Ostrykół Rural Trail. If you choose the heritage route, check your GPS carefully. You need Ostrykół in Ełk County. If you accidentally route to Ostrykół Volszansky, you'll end up hours away in the Masovian voivodeship. Mapping these distinct scenarios prevents the classic itinerary mistake of trying to cram a dense 17th century church tour into the middle of a relaxed lake beach day. Time spent driving between incompatible zones is time wasted. The secret to the best Masurian vacation isn't attempting to see every pin on the map. It is aggressively curating your locations to match your specific travel identity.